Putco bus drivers have until the close of business to explain why they shouldn't be fired. 1,000 workers have been handed dismissal letters over an unprotected strike that started last week. Bus drivers stopped work to demand their 2020 bonuses and 6% back pay. Now, reporter Nqobile Madlala has been following developments around this, and it's a sad state of affairs, Nqobile, because these workers are not only putting themselves in danger, but also risk losing their livelihoods in the form of their jobs because they refuse to back down. Are there any updates in terms of how they're going to meet in the middle with the employer to try and find a solution?
Well, at this point, reviewer, they're still saying that they are not going to back down. They're saying that they are still waiting for the employer to give them those bonuses. So they remain here, reviewer. You'll remember that the police came here to tell them to let the other workers that wanted to work to come inside the place of work. And they remain here, though. They've basically not stopped anyone. But what they've done is they've just continued with their protest, and they're not backing down at all. For now, though, we are hearing from some of the reports at the moment from Putco telling us that they are seeing some people also applying to speak basically to that dismissal. So they are seeing some letters coming through as well, which means that there is some form of movement. We are going to speak to Ulindo Guhle to sort of hear where that is standing. But in the meantime, reviewer, despite the sadness of the situation, it seems some people here have taken it as a chance to dress up as a form of protest as well. So I want to speak to this gentleman who's looking so lovely to tell us what is the inspiration behind his outfits at this moment. So why are you going, Anje?
Hayi, sanibingelela nje nonke. Igama lami nguSisirusi Nxusa. Ngizokhuluma nje lana ngokuthi njengoba ngigqoke kanje ukuhlupheka kwami. Ngihluphekiswa yini na icourt ngoba phela umlungu thina siyasebenza kufanele sibhadalwe icourt. Njengoba ngibona ke ngikanje na amakhulu igama engihamba nabo nabo bazokhuluma ukuthi siyahlupheka mama, siyahlupheka ngempela. Ama-passenger ashaya, amabhasi bayashisa emabhasini, asinayo uniform. Njengoba ngibona nje akunayo uniform mina, iyabona. Manje ngiyacela ukuthi umlungu wethu, uma kuwumlungu wethu, singaphathwa icourt, siphathwe umlungu wethu.
Manje baba, awusabi indaba yokuthi kuzoshaya u5 isifikile i-deadline. Siyezwa ngakuphathwa ukuthi abanye sebefakile incwadi umsebenzi wona.
Hayi mama, umsebenzi kuyafana ngoba ngiyasebenza, kodwa manje ngiphethwe icourt. Ubone ngiphethwe umlungu wami bengizoyifaka incwadi bese yangilalela. Manje ngoba ngiphethwe icourt kufanele ngilandele icourt ke ngingayazi. Icourt ime ngisebenzayo, icourt ile mina ngilayo, ime ngidrive ibhasi. Manje ngicela ukuthi ke imali yami ingene la. La. Angifuni nje iziye kwenye indawo. Vela ngithi ngiqoshiwe, ayingene la imali yami. Ngibuyele ekhaya. Amen.
Manje bebuchaza ukuthi angeke usalinda noma unxenxe for umsebenzi wakho.
Hayi sengincenge kakhulu. Hayi umuntu 2 years ngincenga. Hayi mude kakhulu 2 years. Akana mali last year this year akana mali. Ngipha manje siyabona izinto uya-upgrade izinto. Ngipha imali ayikho. Kodwa thina into engikhala kakhulu ukuthi thina siholelwa icourt. Ufanele sinikezwe wona. Kuthiwa uzothola imali nge-31 August. Wafika uAugust sifanele court futhi. Hayi mina icourt angiyazi, ngazi umlungu wami kuphela. Ayifake nje la ngihambe ngekhaya.
Well, reviewer, as you can hear that from the gentleman, he's saying that he is ready with that suitcase to get the money that he is hoping for. We do understand that Putco has already said, reviewer, that they cannot communicate with the workers because, of course, there is courts. But those are some of the issues that he is worried about, saying that he doesn't only work for Putco, but he feels that at this point he works for court. But I want to try and get something from Ulindo here. Sorry to disturb you there, Lindo. But we are live on eNCA, and I want to find out from you at this point that 5 o'clock is closely coming at this point. So what happens now? Have you received anything? And how many applications have you received, if any?
We've just gotten word from the head office, from our HR processes, to say that they are receiving in numbers some of the representations that they actually need. So what I can tell you right now is that we are encouraged by the fact that some of the workers are actually sending these representations. We put some boxes outside some of these depots and business units for them to be to be able to do that. But we are seeing that there's a huge number in terms of the traffic volumes on the emails. So it does show that people are somewhat intimidated by what is currently happening at some of our bases, but nonetheless they are able to deposit some of those representations when it comes to the fact that we also have an email option of that.
And in terms of passengers, are you seeing quite a number of them also asking for their money back or any refund?
A lot of people have been asking about in terms of the fact that their tickets would be expiring soon. So what are we doing? Because this strike is indefinite at this stage. But what we've told them is that we have in fact employed our PROs, which is the public relations officers, as well as our operations teams, to say that because these things are specific to areas, we want to know exactly what needs to happen to those people, how we are going to secure their valid tickets that would expire during this time while we are not in operation. So there is a plan that's being worked on there, but you are right in saying there are those that are walking in here saying that because the strike is not ending, they want to be refunded so that they can continue going to work. But what we've actually told them is that because of the disruptions here, we are hoping that that will be sorted out soon and that some of our offices will then be able to operate in terms of taking some of those inquiries.
And in terms of those disruptions, can we expect then Putco to be on the road tomorrow?
Not tomorrow, because remember the process that we've embarked on is to issue notices of intent to dismiss the workers. We've given them time today to say that they must make representations. There will be considerations that will be made in terms of those representations, and thereafter, tomorrow, I believe, will be a day where we are basically making a decision and issuing out the termination notices to say that you are no longer in the employ of Putco. That is a process that is supposed to happen before we can actually get back on the road.
Thank you very much. Nqobile Madlala, spokesperson for Putco. Well, Rafiwa, as you can hear from him, that there are processes there still needs to follow, which means those passengers that are hoping to get their money back right now or get back onto the bus might be a bit difficult. But of course here, everything still remains as it is, and we will be monitoring it from the ground.
Thank you very much, Nqobile Madlala, following developments around that protest that is happening at Putco depots, people demanding bonuses from 2020. And so the court action there preventing Putco from engaging those workers.